members. I'm Vas, I'm Symeon Matos, and again in the back, George Alexopoulou. And we have created something like recall actions for, especially for Internet of Things alarm systems, but it can be used for other applications as well. Okay, what we have thought, okay, we have seen the system and identified what it does. So the normal process using the Visual Designer in order to create several telecom scenarios is that the call is being initiated, so this is the start of the work, the start of the process. Then the Visual Designer comes into play, which does interaction with services and other components that the Visual Designer offers. And in the end, we have the scenario execution as we go on in the process call flow. So what we thought is that there is nothing being done before the beginning of the work, so before the actual call is being initiated. So we thought that it would be a nice idea to adapt this Visual Designer thing with a pre-call processing actions, which could be a service interacting with some external server, for example, an Internet of Things platform or a Stack Exchange API or whatever. So this does some interaction, some services, and whenever there is a trigger, there is an alarm, then we write dynamically an RCML file in order to be read later on. So the call is being initiated since the alarm is started, and since the call is initiated, it reads this RCML file, which contains which actions should be done. This RCML file contains some dynamic information concerning the previous monitoring with this service. And so the Visual Designer again comes into play, which reads this RCML file, and we have the scenario execution. So yeah, so why we had this initiative, why we thought about this idea, is that we could enhance this screens, as we all know, with a new action, with a new button here maybe, that could be pre-call processing functions, and this option could offer connection with external services that run before the actual call is being initiated, or the conference bridge is being initiated, or whatever telecom service is being initiated. So, Symeon, you can help me with that.
Yes.
No, it's not this the application.
Of course not. Okay, it's a very, very simple application. We didn't have much time to do
Of course, you
things.
can't see it.
You call it computer.
Oh, well,
No, it's not that.
There are problem with the projector.
Okay, it's really bad on track. So, Symeon, if you
So
present it.
it's quite simple. Actually, you put the credentials of the application, the username and the password that are being given by the and the idea is you just press. The idea is that you.
Okay, yeah, the idea is that this is an external server that communicates with the service that is run actually on the same server. We don't have much time to interact with other servers. So this internally interacts with an internal service. It get some alarms, and when the alarm happens, so essentially we initiate the process with the check values. The process begins checking the service. The alarm at some point hits, and it calls our cell phone and notifying us that when we answer, notifying us that a stock of the Euro USD value has been risen to some value. Press the button.
Yeah, and it makes the call.
It makes the call.
Yeah,
when
if
you answer,
yeah, you hear the message.
you hear the information that is abstracted from before.
That's it.
So any questions?
So, is this for the stock market, or was that an example?
It can be used in any API you want. So it can be used for stock market. It can be used for Internet of Things platform. It can be used for smart home appliances, for example. It can be used in any interaction with any service that provides some information, some real-time values, essentially.
Well, as a matter of fact, in the case of the stock market, you're not only interested in knowing of the change of the value, you have to act immediately. So does that give you the possibility of reacting immediately, or putting a call or a put option, for example?
Yeah. The initial idea, actually, yes, very nice question. Thank you for that. The initial idea is that we monitor a price, the Euro USD, for example, price, and at some point it raises at some value, all right? And it sets up a conference between three parties that have to discuss about this peculiar action that is being done in the Euro USD. And it sets up a conference, it dials out to these three participants, and they log into the conference to discuss what they should do about this, what further actions should be done.
So actually, this trigger creates a conference, right? So
it can create,
So you're not. It's not only one phone that gets this information.
No.
Probably more than one phone gets the information, and it immediately sets up a web conferencing situation where, for example, they can discuss on the actions that they have to make.
You can have different scenarios. One scenario could be you can send an SMS to somebody in order to inform him that you have a change in your value. You can have a phone call to somebody just to inform him the value and use some different actions. You can have a conference. You can make as many workflows you want.
It depends actually on the visual designer options that you have.
This is just a small prototype. So the basic idea is just you have a change of value and you just make a call. But this is just the prototype.
So the video conferencing has to do with TADHack, for example, where you
can set up a video conference.
You use WebRTC in order. I think you are going to be using WebRTC in order to set off the conference.
Yeah, you can use WebRTC.
But you also mentioned that you are going to be using it in Internet of Things. In Internet of Things, we could just have sensors. So over there, it's a different situation. For example, in Internet of Things, you have sensors, and most of the times you use gateways in order to filter and aggregate the data before you send them for further processing. So how would that work with sensors? Or would it work with gateways?
Yeah.
Or would it work with after the data being analyzed at the cloud service provider, for example, and you get then some sort of video conferencing set? Yeah,
the Internet of Things, basically the gateways, operate on the bottom of some APIs. So the Internet of Things developers are developing most of the times APIs that can communicate with the different gateways that spread across the appliance. This application that we have created monitors these APIs, the internet of these APIs, and monitors that things that you have referred. For example, something happens to the light on the street, the traffic light on the street, or something happens to a sensor in wherever, in an appliance. And since we receive this value and we receive some alarms, which alarms are a subset, of course, of English concept, then we interact with RESTCOM, and we can configure in the visual designer to set up a conference, a video conference, with the guy that is responsible, the technician, for example, is responsible to go to the damaged light or whatever and correct this. I don't know if I addressed your question correctly.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. So, thank you.